Uh, uh, in my, in my own little understanding, I can say that branding is the identity and the story of a company that makes it stand out from competitors that sell similar products or services.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
Hello.
Branding is, yes, I heard you. I heard you. You talked
Okay.
about some
That I'm,
keywords you mentioned in your definitions. You said branding is a story,
the
right?
identity,
Is
the identity and
yeah,
story of
an
a company.
entity. Yes.
The identity.
Okay, identity. Okay, okay, okay,
The
okay.
identity
Nice.
and the story of a company that makes it stand out
Mhm.
from competitors that sell similar products or services.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Wow, that's nice. That's nice. Branding is an identity. Wow, that is correct. That is correct. That's correct. Okay, is there any other person that would can you type um your Tochiku, excuse me, Tochiku, can you type your definition in the chat so that we can
Okay,
refer
ma,
to
okay,
it? Yes, just
okay,
type
ma,
it. So
let me
is there
type
any
it
other
now. Let me
person?
type it.
All right. Yes. Is there any other person that would like
Okay, good
to
morning,
go?
ma'am. Can you hear me?
What is branding? Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Joy. To my own understanding, I feel like branding is your packaging, your value, and the
Mhm.
way you want others to see your business.
Okay. Okay. Your packaging, your
Ma, did you hear what I
the way
said?
you want to order. Yes, I heard you. I heard you. You said you feel like branding is your packaging and the way you want others to see your business,
Ma, can
right?
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Joy, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Network. I think my internet's. Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
All
we can
right, all
hear
right.
you.
Okay. All right, all right, okay. Okay, so Joy, can you just put your own definition on the chat too? Yes, just put it on the chat so that we would refer to it again as we go. If you can hear me, Joy. I think somebody should type on the chat that maybe if she can't hear me, just type on the chat that she should put her definition in the chat. Then let's take one more definition and then we go.
Good
What
morning,
is
ma'am.
brand? Yes, good morning, Timmy
Good
Tope.
morning. My name is Temitope. All right,
Okay.
so my view about branding has to do with something similar to what the first speaker has said, creating an
Okay.
identity with visual elements that appeals
Mm-hmm.
to your customers. So those visual elements could be the color of your brand, it could be the logo
Yeah.
that you use, but things that once the site is, they can refer and say that, oh, okay, this is this, that is that, due to the fact that they've consistently seen perhaps those colors or something that you use. So that's my perception.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Timmy Tope. All right. So everybody's definition is correct. So Tochiko said branding is the identity and the story of a company that makes it stand out from its competitors that sell similar products or services. Very brilliant, very brilliant. Fumi says brand is everything you do to influence your reputation and the customer percent of your business, good or bad. All right. All right. Very good. Very good take. Very good take. Okay. So let me give you my own definition on what branding is. All right. So now this is it. So branding is a process of creating, just like Tochiko said, creating a unique and identifiable identity for a product, service, company, or individual. It is a process of creating a unique and identifiable identity. Note the keywords unique and identifiable identity, for a product, a service, company, or individuals. Now, it involves defining and communicating distinctive qualities, values, and attributes that set a brand apart from its competitors. So you can see that it's almost the same. Okay. Okay, I love all the messages coming in. You can see that it's almost the same thing with what Tochiko has said earlier. So this is what branding is, right? Branding is the process. See, branding is a process. Now, I would want us to look at the keywords of every definition so that we'll be able to understand what we're, saying very well. All right. So I'm going to point out those keywords that are in that definition, and we're going to break them down one after the other. So the first off says branding is the process. So first off, branding is a process, right? It is a continuous process. It's not a one-time thing. It's not something you do now and then stop. Branding is something you do continuously. You do it today, you do it tomorrow, you do it next tomorrow. As long as your business exists, as long as your business has life, your business is going through the process of branding. Okay, so branding is continuous. It's a process, right? It's a process. Now this is what that process entails. You create a unique identity, an identifiable identity for your business. Now what this means is, you see the way everybody is here now, and we have all our names written out. You are identified. One of the things that can help you to be identified by people is your name. And so, okay, most times when somebody doesn't know your name, and they want to describe you, they have something to say. There is something unique about you that people notice. Maybe they will say, okay, you don't know that lady, that fair lady that is tall. She don't know. She have one mark here. Do you understand? They are able to describe you even if they don't know your name. So aside from knowing your name, they are able to describe you. If somebody has maybe seen you over time and doesn't know your name, and the person wants to describe you to someone, the person can be able to point out one or two things that are unique about you, so that the person that he's describing to can know what he's talking about. All right. So branding is a process of creating that identity, very unique identity for a product. It can be for a service, it can be for a company or an individual. It involves defining and communicating the distinctive qualities. Now, note distinctive qualities, values, and attributes that set a brand apart from its competitors. So it means that there are things that set people different. Everybody is different and unique in their own way. Every brand is different and unique in their own way. And what makes your brand unique are the qualities that your brand possesses. Okay, I didn't add that I studied psychology in school, educational psychology in Uniport. And in psychology, they taught us that one of the major aspects of psychology is personality. In fact, it's a branch of psychology. Personality. Now, personality is, in a psychological way to define that, personality is the combination of personality is the combination or the totality of what a person is. It involves your name, your smile, how you talk, how you act, everything about the person. That's what psychology defines personality to be. It's almost like what makes a person is the fact that the person is tall, the way the person smiles, the way the person behaves, the way the person acts, every attribute that that person possesses is what will define as personality, in psychology. Now, if to relate this definition of branding that we've given now, you see that your business, first off, is a personality. So this is one way to see your business in branding, that my business is a person. Now, what makes somebody a person has a name, the person that person can depict emotions, the person can be sad, the person can be happy, the person can a lot of things, right? And so those attributes are contributing to those attributes are what um defines your brand. Okay, so I want to know if everybody is following to this point. If you have questions, you can write them down. We're going to talk about them. So are we following? Mommy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma, I can hear you.
Yes. Are we following so far? If you have any question, you can just note them down from what we have said so far. We've said a lot of things, a lot of things.
Very good.
All right. Okay. So now it involves defining and communicating. You see, communicating. Notice the word communication. Very, very important. There are keywords there that we need to note. Communication. So you have to communicate when your brand, like they said, brand story. Don't worry, we'll get to that place. We'll get to that place. So branding is first off, establish the facts in your mind. You change your mindset about what you think about branding. First off, establish the fact that branding is a process. Now it involves everything you do as a business or as an entrepreneur, right? So branding is the process of getting people to know who you are, how you will reach your goals, creating your name, writing your brand message, etc. So it is all the effort you put into building lasting value for your customers. Remember earlier we said branding is a process, right? So now sticking to this is the definition that I would want you to go home with. I would want you to know that now branding is all the effort you put into building lasting value to satisfy your customers. Branding is all the effort you put into building lasting value to satisfy your customers. The end product of every business, or the number one goal of every business, is to not just sell. No, the idea is to sell, right? But I've evolved my own mindset and I'm like, not just to sell, but to satisfy my customers. Do you get? So now branding is all the effort you put into building lasting value to satisfy your customers. Note there are three keywords I would like to highlight here: building, value, and satisfy. All right. So building, you see, building, it takes a process. Now you can finish building your house, but you can finish everything building in your house, but you still have to maintain. Do you understand? There still have to be maintenance. You need to change your light bulbs when it spoils. You need to do one or two things in case there is anything that needs to be done. You'd have to replace, that kind of thing. So you see, it never ends. It never ends. It doesn't end. It is a continuous process. And also it is all the efforts. Branding now, in summary, is all the effort that you put into building lasting value for to satisfy your customers. Now, all the effort that you put, the end is that this client is satisfied with my services, everything you do, to the point of um replying fast, the point of every every extra effort, every going out of your way to make sure that this person gets what they want. That is what branding is. Are we following?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, so let's proceed to the next slide. Sorry. No. Home. All right. Okay, next slide. Now, importance of branding for businesses. Now, before we move forward, is there any question? Does anybody have any question you'd like to ask? All right, in the absence of that, let us move to the next slide. The importance of branding for businesses. All right, so branding is important because it helps your business stand out from its competitors, first off, and it makes a lasting impression on your customers. So this is why branding, one of the reasons why branding is important, you know, because the reason why you're putting out your product, your service, or anything you do out there is so that people can buy from you, people can, you know, experience, or people can get value. Yes, people can get value from you. All right. So one of the reasons why branding is important is so that you can be able to enforce or reinforce people to come back to you. You know, it helps you to stand out from your competitors because um there are many people that are doing the same things, right? But because this person is doing this, you can have two fashion designers. Mm? You can have two fashion designers, and in those two fashion designers, their services may be different. You will notice that maybe people go to this one more than they go to this one. If you check the lines, you see that there is something that this person has that this person does not have. And the people that go to the other person, they will tell you that there is something that this person has that this person does not have. Do you understand? So every business is unique in their own way. Everybody is unique in their own way. So that's it. And now, may helping you to stand out from your competitors. Note, first off, I would like to establish the fact that as a brand or as a business, that see, you're not in competition per se with anybody, right? if you if you go to business with the mindset that you are competing with somebody, now we get the idea of having competitors, right? That is the people that are in the same service or in similar services as you. But if you go to that business that you are in a competition with them, you may lose track of what you are trying to do. I'm going to explain. So this is what you're supposed to do when you have this idea for you want to you have this idea for this business that you want to do. All right. And first thing I tell people is, okay, in fact, if I send you a branding questionnaire for you to fill, maybe you want to do a brand identity, that's your logo and all of that, colors and those visual elements. One of the questions I ask in that questionnaire is, who are your competitors? And then I don't stop there. I will ask you, what are the things you love about those competitors? Do you understand? What are the unique things? What do you like about them? Because see, that is the reason why they're not competitors per se to say that one person must carry first. Mm-mm. They are competitors because they are in the same business as you are, and probably they would have started before you, and there is something that they do that you can take. You know, when I did my course, when I did a course on copywriting, one of the things that our facilitator told us was that one of the things that makes you a professional is the ability to copy something. Do you understand? It says that don't be scared to copy. Now, copy, I don't mean you just carry, copy and paste. That you look at the people that are successful in that area, you look at how they did their things, you look at how they do their things, and then you just take that system, then you improve on that system. Do you understand? So that is what being in competition with somebody is not that the person, you and the person is doing one competition, the person do this one, you now go and do this one. Maybe have you seen in situations where you see that, okay, somebody does, okay, I have a perfect example. So somebody sent me a design to do for his birthday. And then when he sent me his pictures and all of that, I gave him my price. And the next thing he told me was that that this he sent me a screenshot of somebody or maybe an agency that told him that they can do designs for him for 1k with all his pictures. They can do designs for 1k for him. And I'm like, I said, sir, do you know when I stopped designing for 1k? That I don't do that kind of design again. Now, I said, if you want to go and meet them, do you understand? He said, that he now made a statement. He said, I know people that can do this thing for a lower price. Then I said, I know people that can do it for a higher price. Do you understand? Because now it's almost like I'm not competing. I'm not competing with this person that said they want to do 1k because maybe I want to. Because now I know the value that I'm going to give to you for, so I'm charging you according to the level of my worth and my value. Do you understand? Have you heard of what I ordered versus what I got? You know the reason why most of those people have those issues, because they did not get compensating value for the amount of money they paid. Do you understand? Hello?
Yes, ma. We can hear you, ma.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Yes,
Right. I would
ma'am.
like to get please, I would like to get feedback so that I know that we're all, in the same boats and on the same frequency. All right. So if you don't want to unmute your mic, you can just type in the chat that you're following. All right. So I said I was talking about this what I ordered versus what I got, shenanigan. It's because maybe somebody paid so and so amount for something, and then when the thing comes, man, you just see that I was deceived. Do you understand? So it gives off there is no value for what, do you understand? So you as a brand, you as a business, you have to be confident in your your services. What are you offering? What are you, and then you are charging according to what you know that this is the value of what I'm giving you. Do you understand? So you don't need to increase your the amount of money you are charging or reduce it because somebody is doing, you are the one that knows what you are offering or what you are delivering. Do you get? You're the one that knows what you are delivering, so you you charge based on what you deliver. So that's, I'm trying to explain the fact that being in competition with another brand or your competitors does not mean that you are running race with them. No, it means that when you look at them, you can see the things that they are doing, and then you use that system and improve on it to be better than they are. Do you understand? So that's what competition in this sense mean. It's not that this person is doing this thing, I must do it. No, it's that no, you must not do it. You just look at it, look at the system, and then replicate it. But then you're not replicating it in the same way. You are improving it on it because you are creative. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand? All right. All right. So this is one of the reasons why branding is important. So to make a lasting impression on your customers. So when they come, they will not start being the one to preach for you and say, okay, I got this thing from so and so. Man, these guys are good. Do you understand? So it gives your business a unique identity and it helps you to build trust with your audience. Now, circling back to when I said see your business as a personality. Do you see the word trust being used here? Can you trust? Is it not something that you can relate with, that you can trust, right? You only trust somebody that you can relate with, something that you can. Do you understand? Trust. It is a an adjective used to qualify a person. That word trust, the word feel, the word, those words, they are words, they are adjectives that you use when you want to qualify a person, not a thing. Do you understand? So your business is not a thing, your business is a person. It is something that has life, it is something that has
Please, ma, you are muted. Please, ma, you are muted.
Hello, ma'am. Please, you're muted.
Okay, so sorry. That was internet issues. If you're in Nigeria, you know that one way or the other we go through these things. I'm so sorry for dropping off. Let me just share my screen again. It was my internet just went off. Right. So can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma. We can hear
Hi
you
guys,
now.
can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay. So I was trying to establish uh the fact that a strong brand helps
Yeah,
customers
yeah, I
recognize and
can hear
remember
you
your
now.
business. You know, I was talking about trust and how um the adjective is used to qualify a business, and to link to the fact where we said earlier that it's your business is a person and you need to see it, or see it as a person. All right. So a strong brand helps you to um helps customers to recognize and remember your business, leading to customer loyalty and repeat purchases, which is like the end goal of every business. They repeat, they come back again, they come back again, they come back again for more, because they trust you. They know that yes, this person is going to give me value for what I want, for what I pay for. Even when you now maybe increase the charges that you have for a particular service, and then they would still come back, and they are repeating, they are coming back, and they are not just coming back, oh, they are loyal. And they're not just loyal, they now announce you. They are the one doing adverts for you. They refer you to a few persons. One satisfied client, what one satisfied client can do for you, mm, is a lot. The value that one satisfied client can bring to you when you deliver your own on your own parts. In my field, I've seen a lot of clients, they give reviews and be like, wow, this person did so well, I love this. Then I'm getting a phone call or a WhatsApp message from somebody else in the next few days. They're telling me that this person sent me a number, I want to do a design. I've seen, in fact, I'm going to tell you that most of the clients I've had this year, they came from referrals of people that have done something for. Do you understand? So you see, they're just like, wow, I sent this, I sent this thing, and everybody just loves it and all of that. And then now, part of my branding is that when they tell me that this person referred me to you, I go and meet that person and I tell the person, thank you for doing this. Do you understand? So that the person will, it's not like my right. Person will feel, person will feel valued, that wow, this person can come back and thank me. Do you understand? That's something I put in my own services. It is my branding. It is something I do. Do you understand? All right. So it helps people to trust you. It helps people to come back for more. They don't get tired, and then they're not just the one. They are bringing other people. It allows you to charge a premium for all your products and services. So you see, if you notice that now, if you notice that um well, this thing I'm doing, people are supposed to pay more for this thing, but they'll come and charge me less. You check, check, check how you are delivering those services. Branding, like we said, it is all the effort that you put into delivering lasting value for your customers. So one of the key words that we'll have to be coming back to is value, value, value. The value that you give, the value that you get. Do you understand? It's about giving, giving, giving. So everything you are doing, I'm saying, can I, how can I increase? You want to increase your profit, you want to increase your sales, you want to just increase your value. Do you understand? You're looking at how much people will come and, patronize you, that kind of thing. Increase your value, increase the value of the things that we're going to look at how you can increase it. I know somebody just asked that question. How can you increase your value? I heard it in my heart. We would get into that part. All right. So, branding is essential for long-term success and growth. As it helps you build a positive reputation, attract talented employees, and expand into new markets. In simple terms, branding is the key to making your business memorable, trustworthy, and successful. Again, you see those adjectives used to qualify humans, you know, what again? Memorable, trustworthy, and successful. Now, let's do a brief case study of some of the brands that we know, successful brands. I love to use Coca-Cola because I believe they have been in this industry for a very long time. Okay, I also love to use Bata. Bata is a shoe company. But let's use Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola is one company that everybody knows. Now, if you look at Coca-Cola, you'd see how they have evolved over time. They have, you know, they have evolved that it doesn't matter how it is. Somebody that is tired, you just come back from a long day and something in your mind somewhere is telling you that I just need cheap coke. Can you relate? Can anybody relate?
Yes, ma.
You can relate, right? Something in your mind is telling you
Yes.
that if I just take cheat good coke now, I'll just be good. And when you're taking it, you just be like, Do you know why that happens? Now that happens, okay. Now that happens because Coca-Cola have put in your mind that once you are tired and you take chilled coke, you will be good. Now see, even if your doctors will tell you that coke have 7 cubes of sugar, you will not think about how detrimental it is to your health. The only thing you are thinking about is that once I take this coke, I'll be happy, I'll be good. Do you understand? Now that is a branding, that is a personality, that is a mindset that coke has instilled over time, you know, by Coca-Cola, Sprite also, Fanta. You see them when they want to say, okay, for Coke, they will say open up happiness. Share your Coca-Cola with this person. Those campaigns that they run, those kind of thing. Okay. I don't think there are like five in drive. This in drive, this transportation company, and see Bolt, see in drive, see Uber. Do you notice? I think it was last month. In drive was trending. Why did they trend? Because they did one advert. Now they ran a campaign, you know, they ran a campaign where they started using Rolls Royce to carry their customers. When you come, there's this campaign, they'll just bring Rolls Royce and carry you. That kind how will you feel at this level? Somebody comes and use Rolls Royce to carry you and then now give you, top-notch service. No, no, let me get your feedback. How are you going to feel? Before we talk about their ad campaign that they ran, how would you feel if somebody comes and maybe you order a ride and then somebody brings a Rolls Royce to carry you and you are paying less the amount of what you would have paid if it was a normal car? How would you feel? Can I
The,
get a
the
response? How would you feel?
excitement to be it will be a great one. In fact, the
Okay, you feel like a big person. Do you understand? You would have
breeze is not.
confidence. Do you understand? You feel very no. I want to get our feedbacks because it's an interactive. I want it to be an interactive class. All right. So can somebody just how would you feel? Like, just you can type in the chat. Just tell me how you feel if somebody comes, you order a ride, and the person comes to pick you, and they came in a Rolls Royce, and ordinarily you would have paid 5K for a normal ride, and then you are paying 3K for that ride in a Rolls Royce, and you are going to somewhere. How would you feel? I'm waiting for your feedback, guys. You can type in the chat. Just you can say I'll feel excited. No, for me, I know I'm going to feel so confident. You understand? When I'm coming down, that kind of cinematic of thing. Just you see the kind of thing is building. All right. So now InDrive ran this campaign and they did an ad for that campaign. Okay. I definitely do you understand? You feel important. Of course, they use do you understand? You feel important. Do you understand? That kind of you see the kind of did you get? Now, while they were doing that to make you feel important, they were eating your money. Now, but you see, you did not feel pain for spending the money. The people that you didn't feel pain for spending, you felt satisfied. You said this is a service well done. And then that period, Twitter was on fire. People would just go and be like, wow, this InDrive guy just see people now started doing their own publicity for them. Do you understand? InDrive, InDrive did it, man. They played the fast one on us. It was nice. I comment, you know. So now talking about the campaign that they did, the adverts. If you saw the adverts, you'd see that it was very relatable. So this guy was in a Rolls Royce and immediately entered a car wanted to hit the car. And so immediately he now called his uncle in the village. And when he called his uncle, he was not like, Uncle, no be me get am. I don't know if anybody saw that ad. That was a very relatable ad. Do you understand that InDrive was using? Oh God. Do you understand? Okay, somebody that saw it. Yeah. Now that ad was very relatable, you know. InDrive used that to sell an emotion that they understand. Yes. That they understand how it is. You know, that ad was creative. That ad was it trended. We're going to get to the part of advertising and how you can put relatable things because you see, in business you're dealing with people, and so people will patronize or people will get involved with something that they can relate with. Do you understand? So people will get involved or people will be part of, they will participate in what they can relate with. So the ability for you to now sell your brand, what you are selling, you don't just go ahead and say, okay, so and so, you know, what you are selling, you now sell it with emotions so that the person will be like, okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So people will patronize with something they can relate with. And so it is important for you to have a brand as a business. A brand. There's a difference between brand and branding. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at it. But now, branding is what will help you to develop your brand. We will look at it, not to be confused, we'll see it. But I need to say that it's important as a business for you to continue branding yourself, your business, continue developing, continue improving. Yeah, that's the word. Improving on your delivery, improving on your delivery, because we will still go back to the fact that we are laying a foundation. We lay the foundation that branding is all the effort that you put into building lasting value to satisfy your clients or customers. All right. So every effort, so it takes, it is time, it is a process, it is continuous, it is as you go, you develop, as you go, you build. You see a system that's not working, you trash it, you adapt another one, you understand, you evaluate, you say over 3 months, you look at it, how has my business been, what is working, what is not working, all those efforts, all those things. So it's not just about having colors, it's not just about having a name, it's not just about having going on social media, it's not just about selecting your brand colors, not about your logo design first. There are some myths about branding. Some people say branding is packaging, some people say branding is logo, some people say branding is, so while branding has all of those things inside it, those are not branding. Now those are part of branding, but that is not all about branding. So all those things, packaging, logo design, building your identity, having your visual elements, the way you communicate, the way all those things, all those efforts that you put into building lasting value, that is what branding is, and it is important because it will help you to build trust, it will help people to memorize, to remember you, and it will help people to come back for more, it will help people to refer you and to recommend you. All right. So at this point, I would like to take questions if there are any. If not, let me know if you're following. Hi guys, talk back to me, please. Okay, Tochiko, yes. Yes, I can hear you. Can you go ahead? Go ahead and speak.
Hello, ma.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, you said something. You said that we should not be afraid to copy from our competitors. So I want to ask this question now. How do I now run my business in order to see the show from my competitors?
How do you
Rebrand my
do what?
business in order to see the show. How do I rebrand my business in order to see the show from my competitors? So that I wanted to know how do I rebrand my business. Like I have an
Okay, how do
existing
you
business. As somebody
Yes.
that has that like me, I have an existing business now. So I want to know how to
Yeah.
rebrand the business in order to see the show from my competitors, in order to get more customers, to be
Okay.
patronizing my business.
All right. Now, okay, circling back. So when I was talking about the concept of competition and having a competitor, I said something. I said that having a competitor or having a competition or somebody that does similar thing with you does not mean that you are following them side by side or running the race to be higher than them. Because whether you like it or not, everybody has their audience. Do you get? Everybody has their own audience. Now, how do you rebrand your business to be higher than your own competitors? You see, now that's why I said earlier that it is a process, so it will take time. So I said something about looking at the system that they have, looking at something that they did, maybe a promo that they did. You look at it, you um you fashion it in a way that it will be unique to you, and then you do it. It is a process, right? The moment you see, businesses or branding is about growing. And there's this saying that anything that stops to grow starts to die. Okay. So you must be able to continue growing, evaluate your growth. That is also branding. That evaluation process, it's also branding. So you are not in business because you want to be more than your competitor. That is a secondary, that should be a secondary mission or a secondary reason. Your primary reason why you are in business is because you want to sell, you want to make profit, you want to give value and then receive money for that, right? So it shouldn't be firstly. So that the other one, to be higher than your competitors, that's why I've said first of that every business and every brand has their own unique abilities, and every human being or every person has their own unique abilities, and then you attract similar people. All right. So as you continue to grow, you continue to do, you upgrade, you're taking courses like this, you are doing a lot of things to make sure to enhance your own growth. Now you notice that you are becoming more popular, people are becoming more aware of you, people are becoming more, but it's not so that you would take the show from your competitors. Do you understand? I didn't say, do you understand? It's
Yes,
not.
ma. Yes, ma.
Yes.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
All right. So you don't necessarily have to take the show from your competitors. You are doing it for you. You are doing it for you, not for somebody else. Do you understand? So it's not about
Yes, ma. Yes.
taking the show from somebody. It's about you building your own, so that you would have your own, your own community, your own loyal people, you have your own success. Let me put it like that. So it's not necessarily about stealing the show. Okay, are you clear on that,
Thank you, ma. I get
Tochukwu?
it now. I get it
All
now,
right,
ma. Thank you,
right,
ma. Thank you very much.
right,
Thank
right. Okay, is there any other question before we move to the next item that we have? Okay, so moving forward, okay, we are still on the importance of branding. So I just highlighted them. It helps you to create a strong identity, you build trust and credibility, you enhance customer recognition, increase customer loyalty, boost business value. You get, we've already explained all of this before we even looked at them. So these are the simple things, or these are the basic things that your branding can help you to build a very, very strong identity. Stress and trust, credibility, integrity. You enhance customer recognition, increase customer loyalty, then boost business value. All right. So we'll move to types of branding. We're not going to spend so much time here because, it's just so that you have the idea of, in case you are into any of the services, you know what you need to do, you know the kind of brand that you need to have, right? So there are several types of branding that businesses and individuals can employ to establish their identity and connect with their target audience. So we're going to look at some of those common types of branding. All right, we have product branding. Now, product branding is a type of branding that focuses on creating a unique identity, a distinct identity for a product or a line of products. It's like developing a unique name, visual identity, positioning for products to differentiate in the market. For example, if you have, let's say, soap brands, we have Lux, we have Fresh Glow, we have Premier Cool, we have different types, those skincare brands, those products or services. Now, their own is product branding. They have a particular kind of bottle. There's a way their packaging is. There's a way even the shape of the soap. There's a way it is. All those kind of things. That's product branding. So if you're selling, let's say somebody that is selling Zobo and wants to expand and wants to package, the person now one of the things that the person would do is to have, apart from having slogan and all of that, physically product branding. Now that's what we're talking about. The physical look of how if what you are doing is a product. So maybe you are selling Zobo, then your bottle may just be, let's say, 1 inch. You can now do your can you hear me?
you. Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Yes, ma, we can
Yes,
hear
ma'am.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So you can do maybe your cover, the cork of the bottle, the cover can be red or green, or that product brand is just basically the physical. If you're doing a physical product that people can see, just the identity, how it is, so that when somebody sees it, they will know that this is so so and so. Just look at Coke, the way Coke bottle. If you see Coke bottle, even if they tear the nylon, will you know it or not? Talk back to me, guys. If they remove the name from
Yes.
the Coke bottle and you see a Coke bottle, will you know it?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly, ma. Exactly, ma. Yes, yes,
You
ma.
know it,
It
right?
has a
Yeah, you know
unique
it. So
Yes,
that's
ma.
that's
shape.
just basically what that product. That's what basically what it is. Yes, black neck, zero Coke, black neck, red this thing. There's a way the down is very curved. That kind of thing. Right. So number two, we have corporate branding. Now, corporate branding is about building a strong, excuse me, building a strong and cohesive brand identity for the overall company. So it encompasses the company's values, mission, culture, reputation. Corporate branding aims to create trust, credibility, and familiarity with stakeholders, employees, and customers. Example of this is banks in Nigeria. We have Fidelity Bank, we have Guarantee Trust Bank, we have different types of bank. So if you look at them, you'd see that they have a unique way that they brand. Guarantee Trust Bank. Anywhere you see white and orange, with you just know that this is Guarantee Trust Bank. Fidelity Bank, you see green, you see I think dark blue and a touch of white. Yes. So those are just what it is. That's corporate brand just for the whole company. Now, in case your your brand or your company is a corporate company and you have maybe a corporate stuff, and then you do products that you sell. Okay, let me see. An example that comes to mind would be, which company that has a product now that they sell. Okay, none can come to mind, but if I remember, I'll cite an example on that. So moving to the next one, we have personal branding. So personal branding involves establishing and promoting an individual's unique identity, expertise, and reputation. So it focuses on building a personal brand that represents an individual professional skills, values, and personality. Personal branding is common among influencers, entrepreneurs, and industry experts. All right. So you see this type of branding amongst influencers, entrepreneurs. If you're running a sole proprietorship, it's a personal branding, right? It is your individual, whatever you are doing. You get celebrities and all of them. They have all of that. They have this aura that they want people to perceive about them. All right, so then we have service branding. Now this type of branding is for, maybe you're doing a service oriented service, photography, something that you're not selling per se a tangible good or a service. So it focuses on service attributes and interaction, such as dependability, professionalism, client happiness, client satisfaction, all of that. So you see, companies that self-service frequently develop techniques and apparatus to physically show the service to draw customers' attention to Sorry guys, my internet acted up again. All right, so does anybody have any questions so far? All right, so in absence of that, would continue. Let me just share my screen again. But can you hear me? Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes, ma.
Yes,
I can
Yes,
hear
I
you.
can hear you. Right on.
All right. So we're going to look at elements of branding. There are much, but I'll just give you 6 important elements of branding. 6 elements of branding. Now, what are elements? What are elements? Quickly, can somebody just tell us elements? What do you think elements are? I'm waiting for you guys. Please talk back to me.
Element is more like attributes or characters or stuff like that.
All
Hello?
right. Attributes.
Okay.
Yes. That's correct. So that's basically it. Or to say yes, characteristics, attributes. So elements. That what are the things that the little pieces. What are the pieces that make up branding? Do you understand? So yeah, characteristics, attributes. So you see, branding is everything tangible and intangible that goes into the experience your customers have when they come in contact with your business. Okay, still trying to establish this thing. Just know it that branding is all the effort you put into making, building lasting value to satisfy your customers. All right, so branding is a tangible and intangible, everything that goes into the experience of your customers have when they come in contact with your business, right? So successful branding begins with a well-defined brand that is relevant to your market. Having a logo, a tagline, a business card maybe does not mean that you have completed your branding. So there are 6 elements you need to carefully consider and define your successful brand, define for the successful building of your brand. Now, these 6 elements must be put into careful consideration and crafted intelligently. It is like preparing for the birth of a child. You plan for the future of the child and strategically follow those plans. These elements are part of your logo creation process. They are part of the thing designers take into consideration when creating your logo and unique identity for your brand. So, in essence, what we're trying to say is that these elements of branding, they are the things you need to carefully consider. You'd have to prepare, you'd have to plan, to be able to develop them. So like when a woman is pregnant and she's expecting a child in maybe in the next 3 months, you would have to buy clothes, you'd have to buy this, you'd have to buy that, you'd have to, a lot of those kind of efforts you get, right? So that's yeah. So here are the 6 elements of branding. We have brand voice. We're going to look at them individually. So let me just list them out for you. We have brand voice, we have brand identity, we have brand promise, we have brand values, we have brand targeting, and then we have brand positioning. All right. So now let's look at them. Okay, so you see, brand elements are unique aspects of your brand, like name, logo, color scheme. They create a collective, recognizable image for your business and extend into everything you create. This also helps you to stand out from your competitors. So, brand voice. Now, what is brand voice? Just the same way that the word voice is, as you can hear me loud, you can hear me audible speaking to you, you're hearing my voice. So that's how your brand has a voice, even if not necessarily speaking audibly. Do you understand? But your brand has a voice. And you see, your brand voice is the personality and emotion that you infuse into your business communication. Now, this has to do with business communication. All right. The way you communicate your business to people. Uh, the way you communicate your business to people. Okay. So it has to do with the personality and emotion, keywords, personality, emotion that you infuse into your business communication. It helps you to show how real and relatable that your brand can be. It displays your values and makes you stand out from your competitors. This is what your customers know and love about your brand. Now, I wouldn't like to use another brand as a case study for this now because we're entrepreneurs and I believe that we have businesses. So, who was the last person to comment? Uh, Felixta, can you unmute your mic, please? All right, I would like to use someone as an example to explain this brand voice. So, can anybody unmute their mics?
Okay, ma'am. This is Tim
All right. Okay, Temitope. All right. Okay, Temitope. So, what do you do?
I'm a fashion designer. I run a casual wear
Okay.
brand.
Okay, a casual wear brand, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. All right. So, I'm going to be asking you a few questions so that we can be able to explain um these. Do you have a brand slogan yet?
Yes.
Okay, what is your slogan?
Each piece tells a story.
Oh wow, great. Okay, what's the name of your brand first off?
Toro. That's the name. Toro.
Okay, so what is the okay? So what is the idea behind it?
Idea in what sense? Let me get that, please.
The idea behind your brand name. So why that name?
Oh, okay. The
Yeah.
name transcribed to English means, okay, Toro is a Yoruba name. It means
Yeah.
peace. So
Okay.
relatably to clothing, that wherever you put on each of our piece, actually, it relates to peace, to you wearing
Okay.
it. Yeah. So it
You'll
brings
be
some sort of
comfortable in wearing. All right.
yes.
So you be in essence, you're saying that if I wear your brand, I'll be very
Mhm.
comfortable. All
Yes.
right. I will have peace. Do you get?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you said the slogan is each what?
Peace tells a story.
Each piece tells a story. Wow, this is
Yeah.
nice. All right, thank you so much. I would still okay, so I would use your brand. It's your brand I'm going to use till the end of the class. All right. So we'll still
All
come
right,
back.
ma'am.
We'll still come back to you. All right.
All right,
Okay.
ma'am.
So now Temitope is a fashion designer. And okay. Hold on, Temitope. Please unmute your mic. One more question.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. So yeah. So um what would you say makes you stand out from other fashion designers?
Okay. So our unique selling point at Toro is size inclusivity. We understand that people buy ready to wear in terms of casual wear,
Mhm.
t-shirt, polo, and the likes, and sometimes do not get the accurate sizing. So what we do is to communicate with the customer, take virtual measurements before sewing them. We do not sell ready to wear. We measure our customers before sewing the t-shirts, the polo, the trousers, whatever it is that you want as a casual piece. So it makes us stand out because then the customer also has an opportunity to choose the color they want, the pattern they want, the type of fabric they want for the clothes. And of course, if they want it customized, yes, they could also they have a leverage to choose what they want. So that's one thing
All
that
right.
makes us stand out. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So you can see now in summary of what Temitope has said for Tory brand. Now it means that what they are saying to their customers or what they are saying to customers is that if I patronize you, I have full autonomy on what I want, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So you see, so that is one way to communicate. So that is like a brand voice. They are telling you that mm, if you do business with us, we don't make ready to wear. We make custom ready to wear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we don't do this normal ready to wear and you come and you now say one size fits all. No, we do it. we make it for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so relating this now, guys. All right, guys. So Temitope, like if you have been following the conversation, you see that Temitope is a fashion designer and her brand name is Tori. And so Tori is a brand that makes casual wears for people, right? And there one of the idea behind the name is that when you wear our brand, you'd have peace, you'll be comfortable, you'll not be scared that okay, this part is going to be torn, or it's not too tight, it's just fitting, right? And I have full autonomy. Yes. All right. Now, so relating this to brand voice, you see, the emotion here is peace. Another emotion that we can get from here is you can also see collaboration. Okay, so you see, one of their values is that customer is important, or you can say no, it's not that customer is always right though, it's that the client is very important. We have regard for our customers. Okay, yeah. All right, so now this is what customers know and love about your brand. So this is your brand voice, this is your communication, how you communicate to your brand, how you send your brand messaging. All right, so guys, are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Talk back to me, guys. Talk back to me. Are you following?
Yes, ma'am. We're following right on.
Yes.
All right, all right, all right, all right. So you see what brand voice is? It is it is the personality, the emotion, the the personality, the emotion you infuse into your brand, your business communication. So if Temitope was to pitch her brand for a grant now, one of the things that would make, or if you are to pitch, all right, please just pay attention. If you are to pitch for a grant, or you are in a competition, you know, this business rewards and all of that. Now, one of the things that will make them even listen to you is the personality and the emotion, or the way that you talk about your business. It's the way that you communicate about your business, is the way that you are able to sell your business. Did you see the way that Temitope was so confident in, her services that she delivers? She's like, okay, we believe so and so, we believe that if you wear our dresses anywhere, we are confident that you have peace. Do you understand? You'll be comfortable. You can't, it won't be too tight, it won't be too big, it will just be perfect for yours. All right. So that is their brand voice. That is her brand voice. It is that emotion and that personality that she has infused into that business. And now this helps her to stand out from every other person that is a fashion designer, because this is Torre's own unique identity. This is their own unique attribute. This is their unique selling point. Do you understand? Not everybody knows this. Not everybody has this idea. Do you understand? All right. So let's move to the next one. We have brand identity. Okay, so brand identity now, this is the part of your business that is recognizable in the eyes of your customers. Now, this is where your color palette, your logo, how you in how you present yourself on social media, packaging, and other tangible parts of your brand. Now, this is where that part comes in, where you now have to have your clothes. Let's put it like that. Not necessarily your a physical clothes in quotes, but you have your logo, you have your tagline, you have your color palette, you have your, and every of those things make meaning to you. Okay, so when you are going on social media, you now have your logo. So when somebody sees that logo over time, they know that, okay, this. Maybe you put a client review, and then you put your logo on it like a watermark. So this brand identity, now this is how people can identify your business, the part of your business that is recognizable in the eyes of your customers. Your color palette, your logo, social media. Maybe you want to post a carousel, or you want to do a design. This is how our design looks, that kind of thing. Everything about that. This is where your brand identity comes in. Remember, we are talking about elements of branding, and we've talked about brand voice, and we're talking about brand identity now. Now, as a business, see, first off, it is important to have a brand identity, but that is not the first step to go. It's not the first step, all right? You would have to outline your mission, your vision, how to start, a lot of things. Like we said, it's all the efforts that you put into building lasting value to satisfy your customers. So having a brand identity is very, very, very important for your brand. If you look at Coke, you see that Coca-Cola, you see that, okay, Coca-Cola is a corporate brand, then they have different products in Coca-Cola. So if you look at Coke, you'd see that their colors are white, red, and black. They have a particular font type. They have a way that they display their images. If you see their adverts, you just know, right? If you look at which other brand, this brand, oh, is it Durex? Durex, yeah, Durex. There's a way that their own is. There's also Vaseline. Different kind of brands. We have Indomie. We have this food brand I like, Kilimanjaro. Yes, thank you, Kilimanjaro. If you look at their colors, they are white, and there's a way that their designs are. When you see it on social media, you just know that, okay, this is Kilimanjaro. They are always, if you want to put out, this part is very important. When you want to put up an ad, or you want to put up a content, you have to be consistent with your brand identity, so that as you go, somebody that just sees it at a glance, they'll just be like, this is so and so person. All right. So it's very important, very, very important that you have your logo, you have your identity as a business. Okay. So the next one is brand promise. Brand promise. Now, your brand promise is all about how you clearly communicate the unique value that your business provides your customers with. It includes your company's vision and mission statement, principles and core values. This is what sets your customers' expectations and hold your company accountable to meeting them. Now, the more consistent your business actions are with your brand promise, the more trust and loyalty you will cultivate. All right. Okay. Temitope, can you unmute yourself again? Let me ask you some
All right,
questions
ma.
about your
Yes,
brand.
ma.
All right.
I'm
Now we're
here.
talking about brand promise. Okay. We're talking about brand promise. All right. So now, I'm a client and I
Yes.
want to do business with you. So I want you to convince me why. What are you promising me? What is the value I'm going to get for doing business with you? What do you
Okay.
promise me? Yeah.
So at Toro, our core values are sustainability. So it means that
Okay.
for every piece you get, there is a value of long-term serving to you. And
Wow.
at
Awesome.
that, after 5 years, we have a plan that if you lose
Mhm.
interest in wearing those clothes, we can avail or dispatch to pick it up from you, then we recycle. So it's just to let you know that for every piece that you get from us, they are sustainable and we can recycle them into something else. Then aside that, another core value we have is speed. Whatever it is that you order from us, within the slightest time, you get them delivered to you promptly. And again, our core value is elegance, comfort, peace, classy. So all of our pieces, they come with that touch of uniqueness and being distinctive. So those are the things I can say to you like a customer, knowing that whatever
All
it
right.
is you pay for, you get value for your money.
All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Now, I believe that we were all listening, so I need somebody else to unmute their mic. I need someone else to unmute. Everybody was listening, so I need one person. Just volunteer yourself. Don't worry. It's a simple question. It's not a just unmute your mic. Just volunteer yourself. Anybody?
Hello, ma.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for volunteering. All right. Okay. So you heard what Temitope said about her brand, right?
Yes, ma.
Okay. Now, without bias, would you would you um love to do business with them?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Why?
um, um, okay, so if in a situation where I need maybe to get a particular way and I'm pressed for
Mm-hmm.
time, because already said that they are going to deliver it within a short period and then it's going to last for a long period, and then the recycling, because sometimes I do get clothes and then I don't wear them for a while after I've used them for the purpose that I've used them, like that period I need them, and they just go to waste. So those things are things I'll consider, like if I want to get to use
All
their.
right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. Wow. You see the part of recycling. That part really got me, and it's something that, well, I would love to. You see, the duration parts are clothes are, you know, long term, and wow, recycling. I've never heard that before. Really, to be honest, I've never heard that. I've never heard that. So this is a unique service for you that you can use to push out your businesses or your business. Okay. So now this brand promise, is these things that she has just said. It includes your company's vision, mission statement, principles, core values. It is that expectation, like, okay, what should I expect? What's in it for me? It's about your client asking you what's in it for me. Do you understand? So you being able to lay out, and then let me say this also, as business people or as an entrepreneurs, you need to have a document, even if it's digital or manual, where you lay down or where you have laid down your mission, your visions. In fact, that should be the first thing that you do when you have a business before you even say you are coming out on social media or you want to launch. First thing you do is to lay out your vision, your mission, your core values, your principles, your promise, those things. And if you have already started and you don't have them, I would implore you to go back and pen down those things, your mission, your vision, your principles, and so that everything that you deliver to your clients, let those things be what guides you into doing business. Do you understand? So that if there is a small, you are able to dot the i's and cross your t's. You are excellent in delivering your services, because you know that if you see a small mistake, you not say, I beg, it does not matter. No, it matters. Do you understand? If one of your core values are excellence, then It matters. So you should be able to live by your words. Now, do you understand? As a business, live by your words, live by the things that you say, live by the things, not just give us word, give us talk, no action, but then be able to live by, keep to the things that you say, you know. Yeah, so I had to say that in person. All right, so your brand promise, this is all that it is: principles, mission, statements, that thing that your customers will hold you accountable. That maybe after 5 years, and I'll be like, I don't want to wear this. Okay, now come and meet and say, I bought this thing, and I say, okay, 5 years ago, or not even 5 years ago, I just want, can I refurbish this thing? Can I make it look like this? You have this freedom of mind. Your customers know that, well, if I'm tired of this clothes, I will still go back and change it. Do you understand? That kind of thing. All right. So those are the things that makes you accountable. Your brand promise is that thing that makes you, that value, those values that makes you accountable to the people that you are selling or that you are delivering the values to. All right. Do you understand so far? So we've talked about brand voice, we've talked about brand promise, brand identity. So let's talk about the fourth one, which is brand value. Very important, very important. All right. So now, your brand values are the guiding principles and beliefs that your business stands for. I'll take that again. Your brand values are the guiding principles and beliefs that your business stands for. It helps you to display how relatable and real that your brand can be. So your brand value is very important because a lot of times it is what will draw your customers to you, especially if they share the same values with you. They are far beyond how you offer your product, service. They should be what guides every action your brand takes as a brand, right? So core values, brand values, some of those values can be okay, let's use Temitope again. Can you unmute your mic, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so can you tell us like 5 values that your brand has?
Okay. Number one is personification. So at Toro, there is a shift from just the clothing to the individual that wants to wear it. So we relate with you as a person before we would now talk about the design, because we know it is the wearer that bears out the designs itself. And another core value that we have is innovation, innovativeness. Yeah. So
Okay.
our designs are always distinctive, but outside that, there is this mood board we open with each customer that allows them become the designer themselves. And there is something we are still working on actually, to have a virtual platform where designers could test even the colors and the patterns and things like that that they might want to that customers rather could test the colors and patterns that they might want for the clothes before we now make them. So one is personification, the second one is individuality, the second is innovativeness, the third is elegance. We also have craftsmanship, and comfort, speed.
All right.
That speed stands out for us, and sustainability, like I said the other time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much. No, so guys, can you see how those words are reoccurring? Do you understand? Can you see how those words reoccur? So you see that this brand is already well defined. Now Tory brand is already well defined because you see how those words keep reoccurring even in the brand. When I asked that the first question, then during the brand promise, and now core values. So you see that everything is linked together. They are relatable, right? Understanding is also one of you see, there are adjectives. These things are adjectives that you use to qualify humans most times. You see, you have understanding as a core value, you have enthusiasm, you have passion, you have a lot of things, right? So those things that make up. Now one of the things that this thing does to you is that when you have this as your guiding principle, right? Your values are the things that guide you, and you're like, no, I cannot do so and so thing for so and so. Maybe it will help you to have your laid out principles. You would have what you can do and what you cannot do, because you have a guiding value that is guiding your brand. And one of the things that this thing helps you to do, it helps you to attract similar people that share those values. So it's making your work easy. Now, people that don't have those values, when they come, they're like, wow. And they're like, okay, they can learn one or two, because they are not just getting the value they are getting, is also that they are learning by with they're having to form a character from the service that you offer them. Do you understand? Now, this thing helps you to build structure, administrative structure in your business. One of the things that branding helps you to do, it helps you to build administrative structure. By that, I mean that, for example, the process of onboarding a client and taking them through, before they now there's a difference between, okay, Temitope, please, can you unmute yourself again?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Now, do you already have a structure for when clients come to do something?
Okay, so it is actually an online brand. So we communicate.
Okay. Okay. So can you walk us through how you'd onboard a client and then get them to pay?
Oh, okay. So when a client
Yeah.
reaches out to me, yes, because I'm still the one handling our communication chain, whether through social media
Okay.
or through referral or any how it comes like that. We first communicate,
Yeah.
and during the conversation, that time they are more like consulting, and yes, we try to clarify some things. It is then that we open a mood
Okay.
board. The file I opened for them on my system. So on the mood board, I have the details of the customer. Then we talk about design. We talk about colors. Maybe they have a particular design in mind. All during the consultation, that's where we do all of
Yeah.
that. They decide on the color, the style, the size that they might want, because the person might be a medium size and says that no, he wants XL for
Yeah.
that particular. So we decide on all
Yeah.
these things. Yes, I have their file. And then we go to, of course, sourcing for fabric. Then after sourcing for
Yeah.
fabric, we come to the cutting table to draw out the pattern. If it is a patterned dress that needs a pattern, we sketch it out. Do the cutting, do the sewing, send the picture of what is done to the client, and tell them this is
Yeah.
what to expect in their package. And yes, the person communicates the delivery or the pickup mode. Yes, I have a place where they can always pick up if they want to, and if they want it delivered, yes, we go through delivery services agencies to get it across to them. So that is what we do. And of course, they make payments before work commences, 70% upfront, then
Okay.
30%.
Okay. That's
On,
what that's what I wanted
yes.
to ask. I wanted to ask,
I
at what point do they pay?
After consultation, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now, guys. Okay. You see, this is you see, after consultation, that's when they now bring in, okay, this is what you pay. Now, see, there's a difference between when the person just sends you a DM and you're like, okay, 50K. Do you understand? Like, the person just comes and you're just like, okay, for this is 50K. Now you have not walked the person through. Now you notice that she said after consultation. So the person has to pick the color, pick this, pick this, pick this. They have already determined the kind of dress that the person wants to make. And then they now give you the amount and say, okay, you pay 70% of this. And then maybe when you get your dress, you can complete 30%. Or after your dress is done, you complete 30% or that. So you see, now what has enabled these brands to build this structure is the values that they have. Do you understand? Now, putting the client first, not putting their own satisfaction first. Because I've noticed that one of the mistakes that people make, in fact, the last thing I do when I'm talking to a client is to tell you the amount of money that you're going to pay. Uh, that's the last thing I do. My own is on the very last, is the last step. First off, I'm going to ask you what you want to do. If you have an idea, you share with me, we discuss. After we are done discussing and I tell you you're going to get it so and so day, then in fact I wait for them to ask me how much. Because there's a way you will drive your conversation with your clients. They can't wait to ask you how much. Do you understand? They're the ones that will ask you how much does it cost, and then that's when I will not shoot my shot and tell you so and so amount. By the time I tell you that, you're already impressed. You will not argue with me on what to pay. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I'm saying that your brand values guides you into building this kind of structure, not just somebody just comes and 2 seconds, you're like, okay, 50K. You now start telling, for you know, people have started arguing, that kind of thing. Because, that's why you need patience, is also a value. Patience is also a value. You need to have understanding, you need to have clarity, those kind of things, right? Okay. Now, see, they are far beyond how you offer products or service. This is what guides every action your business takes as a brand, your brand values. Before you do something, Now, I think earlier when we started, the video that was played in the video that we saw, one of the things when they were talking about, I think systems of how you do business or something like that, good, bad, and ugly. I think the ugly was the partnership own. Now, if you have a partner that you share the same values with, you'd not have issues. The problem with that system will be when you have a partner that both of you don't share the same values. Maybe you are more of somebody that is very detailed and the person is a jakara, disorganized person. You'd start having issues. Do you understand? And that's why the people that you employ as a business, as you start going, now, these things are the things that you share with them and tell them that these are our values. We don't do this, we don't do that, and you notice that you start attracting people. So it cuts across the path where you start employing people when you are talking to your clients, everything. So these values, they are the laid out things, laid out principles, they are guides that helps you, all right, to build your business. Because you cannot be somebody that is excellent and come and employ somebody that is disorganized. You will have issues. You start quarreling, and before you know, you two, you have become disorganized because you come to the office, they have not done this. Before you know, you are shouting, that kind of thing. You are shouting, and your workplace is now becoming toxic. It happens like that most times because people do not employ people that they share the same values with. So it helps. So this is one of the ways to have a good working environment where you are not making your environment toxic, right? So we have brand targeting. Now, this we've talked about brand voice, brand values, brand identity, brand promise, and now this is brand targeting. All right, so brand targeting is um, you making decisions and determine what segment of market you want to reach by identifying the characteristics of your target customer. It includes age, geographic location, income level, business sector, etc. Now, this brand element is what guides you in marketing when you want to run ads that converts prospects into clients. Now, if you want to run an ad that converts, it is these parts of your branding elements that will help you to, run those ads. All right. So, can you unmute your mic again? Let me ask you some questions.
Yes, ma'am. I'm with you, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Okay. So now, speaking of brand targeting, who are your audience? Females, male, children, what people? Who do you work for? Like, who do you understand?
Okay.
Right.
So we Torres is a unisex fashion brand. So our targeted audience
Okay.
are male and females, particularly between the millennials and the Gen Zs, because we identified that
Okay.
they are the ones that often want to create what they want to look like. They have a perception that they want
Okay.
people to see of them, even in what they hear. And those things are worth a working store might not be able to avail them, like going to a boutique. So we now said that, okay, this is what you want. We allow you express yourself, then we make the clothes for you. That's why they are targeted audience. Yes. So the millennials, the Gen Zs, people that want to be identified through clothing. Yes.
Okay. Now, can you guys see that it is a very specific? So you see, now one of the things or the mistakes that people make is that they want to do business for everybody, you know. But you see, there are businesses that you can serve everybody, but there are businesses that you cannot serve everybody. So having your target audience, defining your target audience, defining the age, defining the location, define is very important. Do you understand? Now, can your business grow? Yes, your business can. But at a particular time and at a particular um phase, you need to have define that, okay, these are the people we are out here for. So that when you are doing your marketing, you are not talking to the wrong people, making wasting efforts. You talk to the right people, you know the right people to talk to, you know how to target your ads, because when you're running an ad on social media, one of the places you come to is demographic factor. Now it will show you location, it will show you age, it will show you, income level too, very important. Are you looking to, are you, is it medium scale, large scale? What people, what kind of people do you want to, you know work for? Do you understand? Right, so your brand targeting is very, very important. Right, so these things I'm saying, if you do not already know them, or if you don't already have a document that states these things, you need to have them. You need to have them. You need to outline them. You need to outline them. Very, very important for your brand. All right, so the last one is brand positioning. Brand positioning refers to the place where your market stands in the eyes of customers. Now, it includes how your brand is different from your industry competitors. It takes targeting a step further and involves strategizing your market into efforts to ensure that your tactics are most effective in reaching the targeted market segment. Now, brand positioning also means cultivating a brand voice that will stand out uniquely in a busy marketplace. Now, this is relatable um to targeting, right? It's just taking a step further. After you target, you just take a step further to strategize, build tactics that will help you reach more of these people that you have targeted. Just position yourself in a way that you can reach these people. Do you understand? Like football, they have positions for different places, midfielder, this one, that one, at targeted places. Do you understand? So basically, that's it. I think we're supposed to go for a break, right? Okay, so can you ask your questions and answers at this point? Questions and answers. I'm ready to take your questions and answers before we move forward. Questions from anybody. Talk back to me, guys. Okay, so in absence of any question, would go on a, this is, let's say 12:15, would go on a 30 minutes break. and we'll be back in 30 minutes from now. Will be when, or let's say 45 minutes break, so that everybody can digest. Then before we come for the final round. So we'll be back by, let's be back by 12:50.
Okay,
All
ma'am.
right. Hi guys, can you hear me? Yeah. So let's be back by 12:50 so that then we'll run it again for the remaining hours, and then we'll take questions and answers again, and then we'll round up who you are. But the process of making you who you are. So now let's look at brand strategy. Brand strategy. If you look at this picture here, you would see that brand strategy has a lot of things to do. Brand strategy, we have new insights, we have brand positioning, creative direction that has brand voice, tone, diction, naming, tagline, and slogans, visual, logo, typography, color palette, photography, marketing plan, 1 to 3 years, or you can decide to do them in 6 months or 1 year, depends on you. Measure KPIs, that's like key points indicators. What to measure KPIs are your key point indicators, like your evaluation analysis, all of that. So analyze data, you learn, you get new insights, you go again, brand strategy, just like that. You keep going those circles like that. So it has to do with purpose, vision, mission, values, just like everything we have been saying. Product strategy, promotion strategy, price strategy, distribution channels. Where are you going to, you know, where are you going to sell? All of that. Market research, target customer, competitive landscape, sales strategy, key point performance indicators, like I said before. So we're going to be looking at all of these things. So just hold on. I think there's a mix up with my slide. Okay, this is supposed to be here. Okay, so forgive me, we're supposed to be looking at branding and marketing now. Brand strategy is about the last thing that we're supposed to do. So just hold that thought. Now let's look at the difference between branding and marketing. So as a business owner, it is very essential for you to understand branding and marketing so that you can effectively utilize them together. So branding is your strategy, while marketing is your tool. Do you understand? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. So branding is your strategy, while marketing is your tool. Branding is your strategy, marketing is your tool. Don't forget those things. Branding, strategy, marketing, tool. All right. So marketing is the process of getting people interested in your products or service, right? The process of understanding your customers, building and maintaining relationship with them, the tools that you use to deliver your brand message, the tools that you use to deliver your brand messages. That is what marketing is. All right. So take my screen and stop sharing. Okay. So marketing will continually change. Marketing, it changes, it evolves as time changes, and the same way the products and service you offer will continue to change or evolve. Not necessarily change, but they will become, they will evolve, like they will change, become better. So as time changes, as trend changes, as development occurs in a person's life, your delivering of services are supposed to change. And so as marketing changes and evolves, it will change. So marketing is vast and wide, and it has so many strategies depending on the kind of audience that you want to reach out to. Also, there are different types of marketing. We have content marketing, mobile marketing, television, radio, social media marketing, and a host of all of that. So these types of marketing now, when we are talking about brand strategy, you now know how to apply what type and all of that. But you need to know, because for us to be able to be talking about this now, you would have been able to define your target audience. Remember, we talked about elements of branding, and one of those things was target audience. So by now, you should have been able to define the people that you want to reach by, you know, by your business services and all of that. So by that, you now know the type of marketing that you want to do, because marketing is the tool, branding is the strategy. So branding helps you to define, okay, this is this. It helps you to be precise, it gives you direction, it gives you precision, it gives you purpose. And then marketing is that tool that you will use to reach those people. We have different types of marketing. Content marketing is almost like you see brands, they come out and they teach you, they just teach you the basic things, and then when they teach you, they're like, so if you want to learn more, or if you want to know more, or if you want to do this, they add a call to action to that. All right, so marketing on its own is already a course, is already a subject. But one of the things that will help you to market your product very well, or to know the channels, or to know the precision, or to know how to strategize in your market, is branding, which is what we have already been saying. And the process of marketing too is also branding, because branding is what the effort, all the effort combined that you put into building lasting value for your customers. So even that marketing is part of your branding. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you don't need to see marketing as a word on its own, because it's still part of your branding. The things you will market, how you will display it, the way that you would show your ads, it's still your branding. It's still your brand identity. Your brand identity has a very large role to play in your marketing too. Your brand voice, the tone of which you say you are selling it, you know, your what else? Your target audience, your brand promise also, So marketing and branding, they are different, but they work together hand in hand. You can't market your products when you have not defined a lot of things. You have to be able to define those things, and branding is what helps you to define those things. So that is why it is very important for you to know your brand. All right, so quickly, let us go to brand strategy. I think I've explained all of this. Brand strategy, purpose, vision, mission. So you see all these things that are here like this now. All these things that are here like this. They are look at marketing plan. They are part of branding. So your strategy is still your branding. This is what will help you to know how to put your markets, your markets, reach your market rather. All right. So brand strategy refers to the long-term plan and approach that guides the development and management of your brand. Long-term plan and approach that guides the development and management of a brand. It involves making strategic decisions to create a strong and differentiated brand identity, effectively communicate with the target audience, and achieve business goals. Brand strategy encompasses several important components. Now, before we look at this, I want to ask a question. Temi Tokwe, can you unmute your mic, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'm with you.
All right. Okay. So remember that we are using your brand as an example, as a practical case study, as an example to cite the things that we're talking about. All right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
talking about brand strategy now.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's say in the next 5 years, in the next couple of 5 years from now, what do you want to achieve? Where do you see your brand?
Okay, in the next 5 years, I
Yeah.
I see us increasing our sales, particularly our revenue generation by like, let's say, 70%. And also, I see the brand having physical locations across
Okay.
Southwest Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
those are the two
So
major
now,
things.
all right. So can you like say like two of the things that you are doing to make sure that you hit that mark?
Okay,
What
so
are the two intentional things? No, no. See, let's put it like this. What are two
okay.
intentional things that you are doing to make sure that in the next 5 years you are hitting this mark? Even if you don't hit it, you are almost or close to hitting it.
Okay. First is I I am improving on our marketing. That
Okay.
is using social media and all of that. So I am intensifying more on that, and I am hoping that, let's say, maybe by next year I can start paying influencers and things like and people like that to influence for the brand. And I think marketing is just the major thing, putting it in the faces of people that this is what we do, and using words of mouth. Yes. So I
Okay.
intend
Okay.
to run physical marketing, maybe get a team, or I don't know if there are brands that do that. You know, those people that stand, that share flyers, that
Yeah.
dance and things like that. Yes, I intend to do that too by next year, by God's grace, go around, because we work with businesses also, like schools, corporate organizations. We sew office wears. So
Okay.
yes, office uniform, the t-shirts, the shirts and things like that. We work with schools, we sew their other uniforms, the midweek wear, the sports
Yeah.
wear and all that. Yes, so we do all of that. So I intend to intensify more on marketing, both the words of mouth and the digital marketing. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. All right
Okay.
now, so guys can see now that this is a working plan right now. So she said have a physical location in the next 5 years. She's seen that the brand is more, people have more awareness of the brand, and the brand wants to have a physical location. And now these are the steps that she's taking to make sure that this thing happens at so and so time. So now the strategy is now using words of mouth, social media, sharing flyers, and all of that. Do you understand? So okay, let me give you a tip. One of the things that you can do as a brand or as a business is when you have plans like this, you create timeline sheet of activities. So it's almost like project management, but is project management, but on a low key. You are the one doing and you have a list of projects or the things that you want to do. So you create a timeline of those things. Okay, these are the things I want to do before this, and to achieve this, these are the things I'm going to do. So you write it down, you put your dates, you put your, you just put your timeline, key points, indicators to make sure that you reach that goal. All right. So that being said, I was just trying to show you the example of a brand strategy. So this is a plan. So a strategy is like a plan, like we said before, that guides development and management of a brand. So you have a plan that, okay, for this quarter, this is what we want to do. For this quarter, this is what we want to reach. Your plan. And then the necessary steps that you now take in going in that direction also. So the components of this brand strategy includes, one of them is brand positioning. Now, defining how you want your brand to be perceived in relation to competitors. This involves identifying your unique value proposition, target audience, and key points of differentiation. Key points of differentiation. So basically, this is just defining how you want your brand to be perceived. Brand position. Okay, this is the position that I want my brand to be. To take this step from this ladder to this ladder, or from here, take 2 steps forward, or take 3 steps forward, or take 5 steps forward. Do you understand that kind of, that kind of strategy? So you're not moving in circles, but you're moving, strategically in people's mind, in people's hearts. You understand? Just like that. So number 2, we have target audience. Now, this is understanding and defining the specific group of people who are most likely to be interested in and benefit from your products or services. This includes demographic, psychographic, and behavioral characteristics. So now, when we asked Temitope about her target audience, she said male and female, so it's unisex, and then went on to say that it is for millennials and Gen Zs. Do you understand? So because now behavior and psychographic, be putting into play now, because how they feel in what they wear, they are most likely the ones to be that want to, express how they feel. Do you understand? So you can see the strategy there, because this is the way these particular people behave, and their behavior is likely to, it is likely to fit into our lifestyle. It's not as though um other people, or other, generation of people, or the older people cannot fit into it, but their main target audience, or the people they are trying to reach mainly, is because of this, and they have studied the behavior of the people. Do you understand? So now they know how to reach them, because me, I want to express the way I look. I want to be able to have autonomy in the way I look. And so the people that are most likely to behave like that are Gen Zs and millennials. Do you understand? So your target audience, now this is brand strategy. In case you want to run a marketing campaign, you need to define who do you want to reach. Who do you want to reach? Are they business owners? Are they, do you understand? What people do you want to reach with this service per time? And one thing about marketing is you can have a business and do a lot of things, but you market one service at a time for every maybe quarter, or every time you want to do a marketing. You can just say, okay, this is what I do branding, or I do, for example, I do logo designs, and we call that branding. So I do branding for businesses, and so I can say from now till the end of the year, I want to market branding. Then maybe from January to March, I want to do graphic designs. Then from, I want to do logo animations or motion graphics or all of that. Then I want to do photography or all of that. Do you understand? So per time, per season, per phase, the service that you want to do, in case you're offering multiple services. Or even in that your one service, you can be creative about it, to, at a particular time, you just do something about marketing. Those things help for visibility, for, you know conversion of customers and all of that. So the third one is brand identity. Now, if you notice, you see that these are the things that we said when we're talking about the elements of branding. So you see how important these things are to your business growth. So brand identity, now this is developing a cohesive and compelling brand identity that encompasses visual elements, such as logo, color, typography, verbal elements such as tagline, messaging, and overall brand personality. So this is also a strategy for your brand. Now, when you want to start a brand, this is how you define. You come out and say, okay, who do I want to reach? How do I want my brand to be perceived? Who do I want to reach? My target audience, my brand identity is the next thing. You go ahead and develop your brand identity, meet a brand designer that can be able to psychologically explain, you know, what you want and visually represent it. So you have an idea of what you want, and the person is able to, translate your idea into an element that you can see. So when you see it, you know that okay, this is it. Then we have brand messaging. So brand messaging is crafting clear and consistent message that communicates your brand's unique values, benefits, and story to your target audience. Um, Talking of brand story, um, Temitope, please can you unmute your mic again?
Yes, ma. So sorry. I
Oh,
was,
okay, okay.
yes, I'm listening.
All right. Okay, so now can you briefly tell us your brand story? Like, what is your story?
Okay. As a young girl who grew up in a community in Lagos, and particularly, let's say Africa in general, there is a perception that when children are given birth to, they inherit the clothes of their elder ones. So when the firstborn wears the clothes as a child, when there's a second born, you hear the parents say, oh, there's this trousers your brother wore and it's still good, you too wear it, this and that. So I passed through something like that, but mine was on the opposite because my elder siblings were male. But I had to wear their trousers, I had to wear their top. So growing up, I knew I did not want to be identified as so. I needed to create something for myself. So I'm seeing it
Okay.
through that aside myself, there are so many persons that are in similar position as I am. Maybe they might not be able to express theirs verbally, but they still walk up to boutiques looking for things that can actually genuinely express who they are. And since they could not get it, so some people have to compromise to buy things that might not actually suit them, but maybe suit that purpose at that moment. And when they wear it, you see them dumping it, like, oh, I'm not wearing it again. So that is the brand story of Toro, that, okay, here is a brand that has a shift from the clothing, but deals more with the individual. What do you want? How do you want to be represented through clothing? So, and that is why each of our piece tells a story. Your story, the customer's story. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You deserve hand clap. Maybe you should clap now. Clap now. Wow. This is
Thank you,
lovely.
ma'am.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. So now you see how you have been able to craft a messaging from your own experience. You understand? So every brand has a story, and your story is what helps you to develop your brand message. So crafting a clear and consistent message that communicates your brand's unique value, benefits, and story to your target audience, so that the people you are trying to reach are people that can relate with the story that you are telling. Do you understand? So it includes developing key messages and narrative that resonates with your target audience and align with your brand position. All right, so the first one is brand communication channels. Now, this is basically determining the effective channels or platform that you want to use to engage with your target audience. So it includes traditional advertising, digital marketing, social media, public relations, and other channels. So now, you know, people leverage on social media marketing for because of the time that we are in. But I also feel like that is not all. Do you understand? It's not really all of them. So there are different channels, which is traditional advertising, words of mouth, telling this person to tell this person, friends and family, advertising, digital marketing, social media, public relations, and other communication methods. So this is how you now want to now, okay, you've developed your brand positioning, determined your target audience, done your brand identity, crafted your brand messaging. Now you want to communicate to people that you know you want to reach. And so you have to determine the best channels. Now, by the time you're doing your demographic research, which is your determining your target audience, you're supposed to know where they are more. If they are on social media, they are more on social media, or you understand, where are they and how do I reach them? Yes. So that's another this thing. So we have brand strategy, which is number 8. We have brand monitoring and adaptation. So this is continuously monitoring and evaluating the performance and perception of your brand. It allows you to make data-driven decisions, adapt your brand strategy as needed, and ensure your brand remains relevant and resonant with your target audience. All right. So you are continuously monitoring. So from time to time, you evaluate, your performance of the perception that people have of your brand. From time to time, you look at the reviews that your customers have said. Which one gave a positive review? Which one, how many positive reviews? How many negative reviews? How many reviews on? Do you understand? Like, how many? Just look at the frequency of how the people are perceiving your brand, how the perception of your brand is growing. That's what it means by monitoring it. So a well-defined brand strategy guides all aspects of brand development, communication, and growth. So it provides a roadmap for effectively positioning your brand in the marketplace, connecting with your audience, and then achieving your business objectives. So you can do a 6-month evaluation plan. You can do a 3-month evaluation plan. It depends on the timing that you want. You can do a longer time. You can take 4 months, you can do quarterly, you can do bi-weekly, you can do, do you understand? It depends on how much time you have and how much consistent you can be in keeping that review. All right. So is there any questions so far before we move to the next slide on how to build a brand? We have less than 30 minutes remaining. Is there anything that anybody needs clarity on? All right, in absence of any question, we'll just move to the. Okay, so I believe that means that everybody is following, right? Hi,
Yes,
guys,
ma'am.
please talk that. More responses.
Yes, ma'am.
We're 19 here. I'm only hearing like 4 voices.
Yes, ma, we will follow.
Okay. All right, so now let's move on to how to build a brand. How to build a brand. Now, to build a brand, there are certain steps that we need to follow. Now, basically, we have said all of those things, but now I want to intentionally highlight those things for you. I hope you have your writing materials anyway. And I hope you have been jotting down things since we have been, saying. I know that one of the things I've said to do is have a working document of outlining your brand's vision, your goals, your values. I said a lot of things about that. That is very, very important in measuring your success as a brand, because you look at that document in 6 months, 3 months, in 4 months, 1 year time, and you look at it, you see that wow, we have been consistent in keeping these things. So the first one is determine the target audience. To build a brand, determine the target audience. Now, if you have already started your business, you can rebrand. I need to say this because you see, branding is a process. It never ends. So if okay, I think the video we saw earlier, the speaker was talking about failure and our mindset to it. So if you fail, or if it seems like it's not working, it's not as if you have failed. It's just that you have learned a new method of how this thing will not work. Do you understand? You didn't fail, but you just learned a new method of how it not work. So if you have been trying something and it doesn't work, there is still time because it's branding. So you go back to the drawing board and you now check again these points. So now one of the things to do is determine the target audience. Determine the target audience that you want to reach. Now, recognize the characteristics, the preference, the pain points of the ideal clients. Make adjustment to branding strategies to appeal to the audience. Because in any way, your strategy or your branding materials must appeal to your clients. So if you might be selling the right thing, but you might be selling it to the wrong people. You might be selling the wrong thing to the right people. You might be, do you understand? So you have to know who are the right people. I have this thing. Who are the right people that I need to sell this to, that will, you know, that will understand and flow with my idea and get value for what I'm selling to them. All right. So you have to recognize their characteristics, that is their personality, what makes them them, their preferences. Do they like this? Okay, I prefer, what do they prefer? What are their pain points? And then bring solution to that pain point. That is what business is about. It's about providing value, providing a solution to a pain point. Just like Temitope's story, you saw a pain point of how she did not have you understand, she had male brothers and she had to wear some of the trousers. Do you understand? See how that can be painful. I'm like, I don't have you see. So, and there are many people, because now look at the city that she's from. Definitely, definitely there are people, okay, see, it's a culture, and there are people that, yes, um they don't buy new clothes for them. They'll say, okay, your elder brother, you grow into it or something like that. You understand? So you see, she has discovered a pain point and has decided to provide solution to that point. And that is what the brand story is about. So it must appeal to your audience. Now, the next thing is identify and study the competitors. Okay, like I said earlier, that your competition is not that you would want to remove them from business. No, everybody's there to make money, but it's not that you're in competition with somebody does not mean you have to remove them from business. So you see, it's to get a better understanding of how to develop a niche, eh but market a niche market by researching other businesses. See what I said earlier? So find a technique to counteract competitors advantages competitors advantages while using disadvantages such as market inefficiencies or underdeveloped markets. Examine the website's price is another aspect of competitor brands. So it's basically you doing a research on your competitors. If you check where, you will see where they have maybe a weakness, and then you can now improve on that weakness. So that is what it is to have a competitor. You are looking at them, you are seeing what they are doing well, you take their system, you look at it very well, and then you now, you own it, you tweak it to the point that you are the one that now have that system. So you just to get a better understanding on how they developed their niche, doing marketing research of other businesses, look at what they did, how they got to where they got to, the things that they, the steps that they take. It's just looking at the steps and trying to follow in those steps. You understand? And so that you too, you can be influential in your own market. All right, in your own, with your target audience. Okay, so now establish the role and the purpose of the brand. Now establish your brand mission, your core principles, core values, distinctive selling points. First, decide what makes the brand unique from others and what the business represents. We have said this, in fact, it's like we have already said all these things before, but this is just like the step by step on how to build a brand. So make sure you are intentionally outlining these things. Let them be the force that is driving you. Then we have create a brand voice and a character. We have looked at what your brand voice is. and how it can affect your target audience. So one of the brand's most crucial components is personality, like I said earlier. So it is the simplest method to show how distinctive the company is, and it is what brings in the kind of clients that desire. You know, the voice of the brand must remain consistent throughout all brand related communications, including email, social media accounts, and product pages. So your brand identity comes in here. Your voice, your color, your representation must be consistent. You know, build up a brand narrative, create an engaging brand narrative that communicates the past, purpose, and values, using stories to introduce a business to customers to foster emotional connection. Using Torre brand as an example. For example, if the brand wants to run an ad, maybe just an ad of awareness, not necessarily pushing any service, just a brand, a visibility ad. It can come like a story. So it just be like you talk about the past and how, you know, how this thing affected you, how you didn't like it. I'm like, okay, in the past, we had this. Many people are still going through that. And so from that comes the birth of Tory. Explain Tory is a brand that understands your pain when it comes to fashion. We know, we give you keys and all of that can come out in a video and then you just run an ad on it. And you see people, you just tell them, it will be nice. That kind of, I don't know if you're seeing what I'm saying. Okay. So using your brand story, you can create content that you use to advertise your this thing. So to speak a bit more of content creation, one of the tips I'm going to give for content creation is this: when you're creating your content, make sure that it is relatable to your target audience. So most times, let it come out from your brand story. Yes, let it come out from the story that you have about your brand. So if you want to do a one maybe just a carousel, or maybe just a normal ad, you can just be like, ever felt like, something like that, that kind of caption. Ever felt like, do you know that, those kind of things from your brand story. So when you create content like that, you'd be able to connect with your target audience. All right, so your brand story is a very unique point when it comes to creating content for your brand. All right, so choose a business name. This can come first. You can just decide to choose a business name. Naming a business is one of the most serious choices to make. The majority of well-known brand names are short, usually 1 to 2 words. Not Divine Business Enterprises Limited of Africa. Nobody can remember that. Do you understand? Or you see some, okay, let's use some churches for example. Yesterday I was having a conversation with my younger brother. He's also a designer. I taught him. So he was doing a design for one church, and the name of the church, very long, and then they have AKA, known as, just like Divine Power Intervention and Deliverance and everything, Gbogbo Tigbo Ministry. Nobody will remember that. Nobody will remember. So when you want to do your choosing your business name, you have to choose something that is unique, just like Tory, just forwards, Tory. Just, you see the way. Now let's use that to look at some fashion brands in Nigeria. Look at Vicky James. Simple. Her name just spelt in another way. Vicky James. There is a story behind it. She will tell you, she will always link it to Ajegule. You know. Look at um Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Fila, those brands. Just short name. Short name. Very, very sweet. You understand? So when you are choosing a name, you don't go and choose Power and Brimstone. Choose a name that, wow. Oh God, I beg. So your brand name has to be very, very short, sweet, very agebotic. so that when somebody hears it, they're like, wow, this. Somebody that asks you, okay, what is the meaning? I'd like to know the meaning behind your name. Sometimes make it mysterious. Do you understand? Very, very concise. God eye, media power. You know, very concise. Um, so that's it. You don't have to be so, you know. Look at some brands. Look at Coca-Cola. Let's look at Always, um, Kilimanjaro, Market Square. Look at some brand names. Very, very, very simple. Um, Everyday supermarket. We have what's this one in Lagos? Prince Obino. It's just their names. So you don't have to be usually one or two words. It doesn't have to be very long. Not adventures and services in one name. No. Okay. So we have create a catchy slogan or tagline that captures the essence of the brand. Establish the brand tone and voice, which must remain the same across every communication. Every communication must remain the same. Then create a business style and logo. Pick a name for the brand that is memorable and captures its essence, creating a logo that embodies the character and principles of the company is important in the branding process. Then we also have bring the brand into the business, you know, incorporating the brand consistently across the entire business once the foundation has been laid. So you are establishing a style guide to make sure that the presence and the voice are consistent across all channels. So this is where your designer comes in. Somebody that creates your brand identity and your brand guideline. There is a form, a document that should be sent to you after you. So it's not just about logo. Some people will just say, I need logo. If you want to position yourself out there, like if somebody that knows what you are doing, then you need to have a very good brand person to do your brand for you, because they give you a unique form. In that brand guideline, that manual, they would display how, or we would, because it's still also my field, would display how your brand is supposed to be shown on social media. There are exclusive points where your logo should be and where your logo should not be. They show you how your colors are supposed to be displayed and how they are not supposed to be displayed. Give you a feel of the social media designs, so that in case in the future when you employ people or you employ somebody, you send that thing to them and say, okay, this is how we represent our brand online. So it's very important. Very, very important. Okay, so your social media posts, marketing and the website, everything has to be consistent. Then lastly, rebrand if needed. Rebranding needs to be thoroughly evaluated before being deployed. Start by getting direct input from current clients to see how they currently perceive the brand. It's about perception. How do you see my brand? What are the things I can do better? What are the things I need to add? What do you think, if I do this, would you patronize? You understand? Just having a dialogue with your customers and all of that. So priority must be given to loyal clients above prospective leads. Note, priority must be given to loyal clients above prospective leads. So if you have prospective leads and loyal clients, give priority to your clients first and follow prospective leads up later. There are other branding processes that stand out in how you build a brand. Now, before we round up the class, I would like to take questions now. So we have just 10 minutes. We can stay an extra 5 minutes if there are questions. So I'd like to take questions. Yes, anybody? Me, I have questions to ask. If you don't have, I have. All right, let me ask my questions. There are certain keywords that we have been, mentioning, we have been repeating. Can somebody give me like the main keyword. There is one keyword, and then there are other keywords. So, can anybody help us? Anybody? You can type in the chat also. You can unmute yourself and speak.
Ma, please, could you take the question again?
Okay. I said that there are certain keywords that have been occurring. You understand that we have been saying. So can anybody like just highlight those keywords? Maybe 2 or 3 of them. Branding, brand marketing. Okay. Okay. Your business core value. Okay. There's one word I'm looking for. Yes. Uniqueness, identify. Okay, I think you meant identity. Okay. The word I was looking for is value. Value. Target audience. Yeah, brand voice. The word I was looking for is value, because the essence of branding, the essence of being in a business is that so that you can build lasting values to satisfy your customers. All right. Okay, so in summary, can somebody tell us what branding is? Just summarize everything we have been saying. Maybe just summarize one sentence, 2 sentence. What is branding now? How do you see branding now from we have spent like 4 hours or so in this class? So from when you started listening to the class, from when you started participating in the class, and now, what has changed about your idea of branding? Yes, let's say it like that. What has changed about your idea of branding? What do you now see branding to be?
Okay, ma'am.
All right.
From the class, I've learned that branding is beyond the visual element of your brand. I used to think that branding was just all about the logo, the color, or the perception people have once they get to see my brand. But today now I've identified that branding has some elements, and branding itself, it's a process that involves so many things, and is beyond just the name of the brand or the color, and it goes as far as having other elements like brand identity, your brand value, targeting, positioning, and the likes. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Nice. Thank you so much. I think there's a question here. Mohammed says, my question is, can service branding be used for a consulting firm? I'll need you to unmute your mic, Mohammed, so that I'll understand what you mean. I know you're talking about types of branding when you said service branding, but I'll need to have so that I can give you a personalized answer for your question. So, Mohammed, please, can you unmute your mic? Yes, Mrs. Hope Ezra said, "It's a whole lot you must plan. It's beyond what is supposed to be." Yes, so it's a process. Like Temitope has said, branding is a process. It involves a whole lot of things. So that's why, as you continue to take steps towards doing it, you are building your brand. You're building your brand and all of that. Branding has to do with carving a niche for your business to make your business stand out. Yes. Not really carving. Yes, 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 carving a niche. Yes. Let me answer this question. Consulting firm is providing a service, right? So that is the type of branding that you would need to do. Yes, that's the type of brand, because you're not selling a product, all right? So you'd have to display your elements, or display your, create your brand, your service in a way that people can relate it online. So if you're doing, what kind of consulting firm is it? For finances? Is it for, consulting is a big word. So that's why I needed you to speak to the mic, so that I can give you a personalized answer. But let me just give you a general answer. So consulting firm, it's a service, right? So if it's financial consulting, then you know you need to brand in a way that it shows that both your identity and all of that. If it's a firm for, let's say, I don't know, business consulting, whatever, you just brand in a way that is suitable to your target audience, that they can understand. And the people that need your services, that don't know that they need it, you will now show them that they need it. So it's not just about people that need your services. There are people who need it that don't know that they need it. You still need to make them aware. You need to make them aware that they need your services. All right. So Tochukwu said a brand is any distinctive feature, like a name, term, design, or symbol that identify goods or service. Yes. Yes. All right. So um I think that'll be all for the class. My name is Ogenetega, again, for people that did not hear my introduction, and I'm a brand strategist, uh, and I do a lot for brands. And yeah, my new brand starting on the 11th of November. We create content for brands. We do consulting.